Yes, sir. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hole Podcast with David and Ian. David, what is going on, brother?
Hey, this is awesome. We're live. It's the
This
first
is
time doing it
real.
this way.
This is
Very
real. It's a
cool.
little scary. It's a little scary, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it, my heart is racing. I've done this a couple times already, but now that you're saying it, my heart is beating a little bit. Oh my god.
You're live.
Um, dude. So what's been going on with you, man? It's good to have you.
Man, renovating my basement. You're looking at the back wall of my new office. I gotta decorate and set up stuff and get everything together, but I've been crazy swamped. It's like we talked about this, but the older you get, you wish you were younger, and when you're younger, you want to be older so you can do whatever you want. It's just vicious cycle and different type of responsibilities now.
For sure. It's brutal. Sucks getting older. Is what it is, right? Is what it is.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy.
Adapt or die.
That's right, dude. It's crazy getting older, man. Oof, my body hurts right now.
That means
Um,
stretching.
that's right. That's right. I worked out yesterday. I've been running, dude. So I worked out yesterday. Like I said, I did upper body. Want to make sure I'm not getting dumpy. All that stuff. I did upper body. I did chest. Oh,
I really want to get into that. I just can't. But I was still playing. I was like, well, I want to throw 96 miles an hour, or I want to last longer in games. And now I'm like, uh, I don't have anything to like perform wise. I wish I had the mindset that you do. You're like, no, I want to be healthy.
dude. Yeah, yeah. It was the health thing, and now it's dude, I'm getting quicker on the runs now. So like I'm doing 5 miles. I did five
Compete with
miles at a
yourself.
7:50 pace today. 7 minute
Great.
50 pace today for 5 miles. And yeah, it's becoming an obsession. Obviously, the competition aspect of it. I see other people doing it. Uh, makes me want to do it, dude.
There's
So
certain guys that just have that. You're one of them.
yeah, dude. I know. Dude, it was tough for me, right? The running was tough for me, dude. So as soon as I started kind of getting accustomed to it and kind of getting over the hump, it started becoming attractive, right? Like the hard work that I was grinding to
Yeah.
put in was actually like kind of working, dude. So that's
Well,
hot. That's hot.
we'll get into it, but really quick, like you have that. One of my best friend's brother, look him up. Aaron Yoder has the world record for fastest backwards mile. He's the fastest backwards runner. I was like, why do you want to do that? And he was like, because I'm the best at it. And I was like, all right, whatever.
He backpedaled a mile.
Yeah, dude, he's ran backwards. Went to like
Oh my
he's got a
god.
Guinness Book of World Records. Like he actually has like it framed.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, dude. Well,
Whatever.
in other news, we got
Yeah,
the Super Bowl this weekend, right?
big.
Um, so there's some big news surrounding the Kansas City sports world. We'll get into that a little bit with some signings and stuff. Obviously, the Royals locked up Bobby Witt Jr. to an 11-year banger.
I think that's awesome.
That's absolutely huge with kind of the face of the franchise moving forward. But the Kansas City Chiefs, San Fran 49ers, dude, in the Super Bowl this weekend, bro. I'm reading something that there's over $23 billion in bets expected for the Super Bowl. I know you can't read it. But right there is a plaque. I got another one on the bed. I haven't figured out how to put the hole in the dude. But yeah, it's crazy with the studs and stuff. There's
Call
holes
me.
everywhere, dude. It's terrible. But like I studied for yeah, like it's financial advice, right? Dude, over $23 billion in bets expected for the Super Bowl. I'm buying DraftKings. I'm buying DraftKings ahead of that. I am a owner of DraftKings, and it is one of the biggest positions in my portfolio, my retirement portfolio, my liquid portfolio, my intermediate term portfolio.
What you
That is
trading at?
something right there. LVS, Las Vegas Sands, dude. Anything that has to do with Vegas, dude. MGM's big. Think about all the shit that's happening now in Vegas with dude. Now we're going to talk about fucking Oakland. Well, the A's, right, moving
Yeah,
out that way.
see
Like,
there.
there's going to be a whole lot of stuff happening in Vegas, and like the sports world, right? Like, sports betting and stuff is becoming more prevalent in more and more spots, dude. If I'm qualified to give investment advice, I'll say it. I'm I own DraftKings. All right, so there we go, dude. Madden
Hot take.
NFL 24. The sim game has the Chiefs beating the 49ers, bro. Is that on script? Have you heard about any of this NFL script stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Alvin Kamara, the running back for the Saints, at the beginning of the year, said he saw the script and whatever. He was joking. He put out a tweet, but sometimes I swear it feels like it because talking about DraftKings, I've done some football bets before, and like I will need a field goal to happen or something, and they'll get down to the last minute and they're losing by a touchdown, and it makes sense to kick a field goal and then go do an onside kick or something, and they'll just go for it. And I'm like, it's like Vegas calls and says, "Hey, don't kick that field goal. We're going to lose $23 billion." So I can't believe that's actually true. But sometimes I go, what the fuck?
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Not to obsess over it, but DraftKings was like double the price a year or two ago, and they are hot. They're hot. Okay. So there's some stuff that the 49ers are dealing with. They're practicing on a soft field. They're kind of up against the elements, right? So they're practicing on UNLV's practice field where the 49ers get to practice at the
The
Raiders,
Chiefs,
right?
yeah, the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, what did I say? Oh yeah, the Chiefs
You
are
good?
on the Raiders practice facility, dude. Is that
How's
man?
that fair?
What is that about? So there was a test on the sod. I guess the NFL came in and kind of like regrassed the field, put their own special like turf or own special grass on there, and the people came in that tested it from the league, and they tested it saying that it was like it's too soft. So like they are preparing the week of the Super Bowl on a soft, below like NFL standard playing surface, dude. Um, what do you got? What do you got on this? Who do you got winning it?
I mean, that affects everything from your cuts to your routes you run into every drill you're doing. But I am from Kansas. The Chiefs are out of Missouri, but it's Kansas City, so it's like very similar. So there's a lot of Chiefs fans around here. And I'll piss people off by saying this, but like the Chiefs are a little bit like America's team right now. And you watch a game, and I swear to you, they get every single call.
Dude,
Every
yes.
everything is like not handed to him because Mahomes is a generational talent. I love Pacheco. He was like a seventh round pick. Like he just runs his ass off. Obviously, Kelsey's a superstar. He's in the spotlight all the time. But like they whine, they throw their hands
Yeah,
up.
dude.
I feel like they get every little
Refs.
call. And I don't know. I like the 49ers, man. I love Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy, last pick of the draft. Huge underdog story. I'm not like a crazy religious person, but I saw an interview with him where he was just like, that's all God. Like, I just thought it was cool that he was able to like devout his reasoning. Like he didn't take like any really credit for himself. He was just like, that's God's plan, and he's taken me this far, and he's gonna take me to wherever he wants. So I thought that was cool that he was able to be open enough in today's age to just be like, look, you might not agree with this, but this is why I am the way I am. So I do like the 49ers. But yeah, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. In the
Last
first
four
half
or
of the
five.
season, the Chiefs first half of the season, I didn't think they were very good, and now they're just making stuff happen. And Andy Reid could be his last year.
Yeah, dude. I'm reading about that. Also, bro, I would have rather had like the Lions in there.
Yeah, I love the
The
Lions.
Ravens are hot. I would have loved to have had Jackson in there. Dude, I would have loved to see the Ravens in the Super Bowl,
I
right?
love watching Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't have any ties to the 49ers. Um, I don't know, man. I don't
Yeah, I mean,
know.
honestly, out of all the teams in the NFL, the Chiefs are always on. Everyone talks about them around here. I know the Chiefs inside out probably more than any team, but there's something about them I can't. I'm not in love with them. I love
Yeah,
the Lions. I love Dan Campbell, their head coach. Amon Ross, St. Brown. They're two big running backs. Like they just are like gritty, and it's like kind of underdogs, and like they're gonna punch you in the face, and I like that about them. 49ers are kind of like classy. It seems like if you went to like a
seems that
nice
way.
restaurant, like they're like in a suit. That's how I feel about the 49ers. It's
Love
just a
it. I
classy
love
organization.
Shanahan kind of responding to this field stuff. You know what I mean? Like being asked, dude, he kept it professional. He's like, dude, I'm not worried about it. You know,
Yeah, it is
that's
what it
kind of
is.
cool. Andy Reid, man, Andy Reid, Andy Reid's legit, bro.
He's awesome. One of
There's
the
a
best
whole
coaches of
lot
all
of shit
time.
going on with Mahomes' dad,
Yeah,
right?
how does that
Kind
not
of,
affect your performance, you think? Your dad got arrested for his third DUI and might be facing like multiple years in jail,
that's tough, dude.
and you're spotlighted in the Super Bowl and America's quarterback kind of right now, and a lot of spotlight on you. I mean, he's gonna go there, and people are gonna be screaming like, "Your dad's a bum," and that's not easy.
Yeah,
I mean, true. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. That's like people are mean.
I get it, dude. The whole, so I guess No Filter was kind of talking about it earlier. They posted um, on Instagram about like, dude, does Travis Kelsey, does he propose at the Super Bowl? Is that a thing? Think that's a thing? Imagine they win.
No chance.
You don't think so?
I mean, I believe that they really do like each other now. It sure seems like it, but that would be.
My wife's in the chat. She said definitely not. She said definitely not. What's up, Rockin' Reese?
Is she
A little
actually here?
high from Rockin' Reese. What's up, dude? Yeah, my my wife's in here, dude. She says definitely not. It's not happening.
Um,
Definitely not. It's not happening.
if that did happen, I feel like that would be like I don't know how to say this. That sounded silly, but that's like so them.
Yeah.
That would be
So, dude,
so
that's
them if
so
you
Taylor.
propose.
That's so
Yeah.
Taylor, JK. 100%. Or TK. Sorry,
I hope
whatever.
they don't do that. I hope they like if they do get to that point, he like goes to like a nice vacation and proposes, and it's intimate, not at a Super Bowl.
For sure.
Take our advice, Travis, if you're listening. Try to make it a little more romantic.
Definitely. I'll get that his way, dude, for sure. So that would
Yeah,
be a
send us to him.
big, W, dude. So KC going to the Super Bowl last 4 out of 5 seasons. That's big on the football side of things. On the baseball side, got news that Bobby Witt Jr. and the Royals are in agreement. Whoa, what's going on over there? Look at the lights. What's going on with those lights? Sorry. The Kansas City Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. are in agreement on an 11-year, $288.8 million banger. I'm a huge fan of the long-term deals for the young guys.
Lock him up.
Um, for sure. This is obviously a little different, dude. So he's amongst big time company here, right? So only 6 previous players with 2 or fewer years have gotten 9-figure deals, right? Fernando Tatis, Julio Rodriguez, Wander Franco, oof, stinks. Mike Trout, Corbin Carroll, Ronald Acuna. Yeah, dude. I'm a fan of it. Obviously, it's tough with the Franco thing. Stinks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. I don't know how that's going to work out necessarily, dude. What do you got on this, man? What do you got on, obviously Kansas City kind of locking up the face of their franchise moving forward?
I think the craziest thing about this is how prevalent Kansas City is in the news right now. Kansas City Chiefs, Bobby Witt, Kansas City Royals. Um, I do like it because one, if I was a young player, he's 23 years old, right? If I was a young player, Royals are not good at
Yeah.
baseball right now. They had that run, a couple World Series, about 10 years ago. Awesome. And fans came out of the woodwork for that. They were making up, I've been a Royals fan my whole life. No, you haven't. You don't know anything. Um, but for Bobby Witt, like if I was a young kid that was a little uncertain in my career, knew my talent, I mean, that guy's just figuring out who he is as a human. How
Mm,
confident would you feel going into spring training this year, knowing that you're wanted, you're loved, you're I mean, his payroll is as much as everyone else's. You know, like it's probably a hard feeling. There's some definite struggles with that come from probably internally, but this needs to happen. I mean, there's another guy that just signed without playing a day in the big leagues and got like a $30 million contract.
yeah, dude.
Um,
Yeah, dude.
they're starting to pay guys and lock them up. If that's your dude, make him your dude. Don't go to arbitration. I heard that's like the worst part of your big league
Yes,
career.
dude. Yes. I've heard the same thing, right? You're sitting on opposite sides of the table. You have a lawyer or your agent, right? And
Yeah,
it's the executives are telling you why you aren't worth what you say you're worth, right?
yeah.
Dude,
That would
that's
be that'd be horrible.
That's nuts, dude.
You actually you hit 240 this year, but we're not going to pay you because of this, and this, and I've heard they make up stuff, and you just got to sit there and be like, "Do I suck? Like I wanted $8 million, and you're going to give me three. Like,
Dude,
can you try to like meet in the middle?" I
I
heard it's not fun.
oh, dude, I played with somebody. I played with somebody that turned down a contract, like a multi-year contract after coming off of like a big couple years. Um, Turned it down, bet on himself, and fuck it, like didn't do well. Didn't do well. Lost it a little bit, and it a couple years later when I was playing with him, like it still kind of messed with him a little bit, and he kind of lost out on a decent amount of money, dude. So it's a double edged sword, right? It's got the opportunity to bless somebody even before getting to the big leagues, right? You're seeing some of these deals where Major League Baseball, that these teams are giving their young guys just like deals to lock them up, man.
Yeah,
That's dope, but it's a double edged sword, right? That's a lot of pressure on somebody that hasn't, played above double A. I love it. I love it. Obviously, dude, that is so awesome. Having that as a possibility, being a minor league baseball player, right? Isn't that like imagine being able to do we always talk about it, like, dude, I'll do a 5-year, $2 million deal. You know what I mean? Like something
yeah,
like that. Like, dude, lock me up, dude. 5 for 2? You
I'd be
kidding?
fine with it.
Lock me up, dude.
I didn't
Dude, I'll
start
go
seeing
under.
like any, even like livable money until I became a free agent. I got released from the Mariners after elbow surgery, and then I was able to sign a new deal, and I was making decent money as a free agent. But up until my first 7 years, or no, 5 years of first 5 years of pro ball, I mean, I was eating peanut butter and jellies and turkey sandwiches and sleeping on a mattress topper in the kitchen. Like, imagine if you were in Double A and they're like, "Hey, we're going to sign you on a big league contract. You haven't played a day here, but here you go."
That'd be that'd be a blessing, right?
Yeah, everyone's goal is to get to the big leagues, but then now these guys have a little bit more incentive too to be like, "Well, I could sign a good deal before I even get there."
100%.
There's
Makes
no
it all a
reason to
little
work hard.
exactly. Exactly, dude. Makes it a little sweeter, dude. So the Dodgers obviously made a splash in everything that they did this offseason. Signing dudes like Yamamoto. Um, Obviously Glass now, dude. So we talked about it with Shohei Otani has deferred money, but they signed over $1 billion like worth of pitching relief, right? Pitching help, dude. Like that's a big bet. Clayton Kershaw is now coming back to the Dodgers, man, and I guess he's got a player option for 2025, which makes that kind of crazy, right? So that's when Shohei Otani comes back. He's going to be 100% healthy. He's going to be on the mound. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with again. He's going to be a two-way stud again.
Yeah.
Dude, is anybody going to be able to beat the Dodgers, dude? So Walker Buehler is almost healthy, right? Coming back from TJ. Dude, they signed James Paxton over the offseason. Like, is
Yeah, I saw
anybody going
that
to
too.
be able to beat the Dodgers, you think?
I don't know. I sent that in a script one time. Like, I know maybe Paxton isn't what he used to be, but he was like out of this world good for a while. And then you have
Absolutely.
on here like I didn't know Kershaw had a 2.2 ERA over his last 8 starts. Like
So he
he's
was hurt. Yeah. So he
yeah,
came back, and then I guess like he kind of got slapped around in the playoffs, whatever it was. But it comes out,
that happens every time for
dude.
him.
I mean,
I
it
don't
came
know
out.
why.
He was hurt, dude. So he got surgery soon thereafter. But
You should look up actually sometime look up his like stats during the season and look up his stats in the playoffs. I don't know why that is. Um, I mean, he's a borderline probably Hall of Famer. Uh, Unbelievable career, but he just gets crushed in the playoffs.
dude, so that is we see that, dude. We see that dudes that are able to show up big in the playoffs get paid, a king's fortune, right? If you show up in a big time spot, you're going to be able to be trusted. You'll get the opportunity. So this the next person we're going to talk about signing a 5-year, $125 million banger is Jose Altuve with the Astros. They're going to lock him up. He's going to be an Astro for life This dude has no problem performing in the playoffs, man. In 103 playoff games, Altuve has 27 home runs and 89 runs scored, which both rank second all time. His 117 hits are tied for third. He is one of just 4 players in MLB postseason history to surpass 100 hits and 50 RBIs, joining Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Manny Ramirez. Man, it is clutch having a second monitor, being able to just read off that dude.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he'll become the first second baseman in baseball history to reach 300 mil in career earnings, dude. What do you got on that? And is this the only team that's going to be able to compete with the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, he's truly one of my favorite baseball players, maybe like ever. I think his name is a little tainted from the trash can
Yeah, dude.
scandal and the cheating and stuff, but I give a ton of lessons, as you know, and little kids, big kids, skinny kids, ripped kids, fat kids, all different kind of kids come in, you know, that I give lessons to. And all these parents, this old school mindset's like you got to be 6'6" and 230 pounds and throw hard and you got to be strong and all, which is great. That's awesome. That could be helpful. But Jose Altuve is not a big man. I know he's probably pretty strong, but he's like the best out there right now.
Yeah, dude.
One of the best. Best fielders, best hitters, crushes home runs. So I just love that he's a smaller guy. He's kind of like if you saw him out in the street, you just be like, what's up? Like, it's just a normal dude. He's not Aaron Judge, who's 6'7", 280. But that guy puts up numbers just like a Aaron Judge would. I think, to simplify it, that's like the beauty of baseball, and that's what would always keep me coming back to baseball. Football, you got to be some massive dude or some freak speedy guy. Basketball, you got to be some large giant of a man. In baseball, you can be Jose Altuve.
100%. Dude, we talked about it earlier. It's like somebody that's walking down the street. I could be walking down the street and you wouldn't know that I was a Major League Baseball player. You know what I mean? That's what's cool, man. Dude, this is the 9-Hole podcast, right? Where we talk to the next generation of baseball players, man. Underdogs, walk-ons, 9-Hole, right? Like, dude, that's sick. That's sick. How tall is he, bro? How big is he? I played against him. So I was on the same field as that guy. So he was rehabbing. This was the year that I debuted in the big leagues, dude. I got to play against him. I hit a double. I was slumping. I had the long hair, bro. Ooh, I had the long hair. I missed that.
Jason North.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Troy with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, you were going for that look?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The opening scene in that movie is one of my favorite scenes. They get him out of bed, wake him up, and he runs up and just stabs the guy in the neck.
That's why no one will remember your name or whatever. Yeah, dude. That's sick.
Anyways, sorry.
Dude, so I hit a double. I get to second base, and he's rehabbing there for the AAA team. I even forget where it is, bro. Anyway, I get the second.
Was that Fresno?
No, they were Round Rock. It was Round Rock.
Okay.
It was Round Rock. So he was in Round Rock 2019. He was there rehabbing. Dude, I hit a double. I get to second base, and he's like, dude, nice swing. I have it written down in my book, right? I kept the book, all the pitches, all the everything. I obsessed over it. Dude, I'm like, thanks, dude. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm struggling right now. I'm fucking struggling right now. And I was going through it a little bit. The wheels were spinning. I was slumping. It was towards the end of the year. I was hoping to be like called up or traded. I was having the year of my life. Nothing, dude. And I was kind of just like down it. I was just down. And I'm like, dude, I'm slumping. He's like, man. And this it's been explained this way before, I think. But like for whatever reason, it was Jose Altuve telling me this. So it fucking clicked. But it was just like, dude, like we have a tendency to want to go get the ball. You want to catch it out in front. Dude, you're not seeing it well. Like you're not seeing it well. You're getting beat. You're in between pitches. You're not on the fastball, which we're going to talk about later. You're in between pitches. You're trying to go out and get the ball, right? You want to catch it out in front, hit it hard, right? Just in case you're fooled. And he's like, dude, just let it come to you. Let it come to you. Just let it come to you. Obviously, he's not the first person to ever say it, but Jose Altuve telling me that, like, I've heard always let it travel. Let it get deep. Let it travel. I'm like, dude, what? And just let it come to you. I don't know, but it was Jose Altuve telling me that, and then I got like traded the next week, whatever it was, and then I was in the big leagues. And I'm like, dude, I'll never forget that. Wrote it down, wrote it
That's
down. So
really
that's with
cool.
me. Yeah,
Something like to kind of like play off that. I've been doing this at my lessons, and I think it's been really helpful, but it's also pissing me off. Kids will be, they'll throw three in a row, four in a row, pretty good, and then like three just like, what are you doing? There's completely different mechanics, completely different like intent. Like I can just tell. And then like I'll kind of end the lesson, and I'm like, all right, man, you got 6 pitches. I want you to come set, take a deep breath, lock in 6 pitches. That's all I'm asking for. Like focus for 6 more pitches. It should really take you, a couple minutes. Like just lock in here. And every one of these kids is like, bomb, 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 like 6 in a row. And I go up to him and I'm like, what was that? And they're like, I just threw 6 really good ones. And I'm like, so is that a mechanical thing, a mental thing, maybe a little bit of both? And like, yeah, probably a little bit of both. I was like, so can you control your effort and your energy and your body to do that 6 times in a row? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why can't you do 20? Why can't you do 30? I was like, is that harder focus? Sure. But I was like, that's what you got to get to. I don't care if you're 6 years old, 15, 30. If you can't lock in for the allotted amount of time that you're up there doing your job, it's not for you.
for sure.
Like you could have the best stuff in the world. You could have not the best stuff in the world. But if you can do the one pitch at a time or whatever cliche you want to use, you can make something out of this.
100%.
So I just think that like letting the ball travel, controlling those little things. But I got like mad, not mad, you couldn't tell, but I was just like, little Jimmy, man, like you threw probably 40 pitches tonight. 6 of them were good, and it was the last 6 you focused on. The rest of you just were just going through the motions, and it could be a 14-year-old kid. Like it's probably getting close to like, hey, let's get serious about it, or stop wasting your parents' money.
I get that. I get that, dude. I mean, so that is big. We're seeing all this money being thrown around in baseball. I love it, dude. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now that I'm not playing anymore, I realize kind of how insane it is to be a Major League Baseball player, but like at that level, right? Where you have 10 plus years and you're making like insane contracts, bro. I think about that. That blows my mind. But on a not so light note, so we got a story or two, dude. So that isn't so great, right? So there's a stolen Jackie Robinson statue found burned in a trash can in Wichita, Kansas, bro. This is up. This is your neck of the woods,
Just
right?
down the street from me. I coached in that league.
Really,
Yeah, I coached in that
dude.
league, and I got a couple kids transferred from that league because you grow out of it, and it's up until like 14, I think. But once you get to high school, you got to go play somewhere else. So I got some kids that had some actual talent. I mean, this is like a nonprofit league. I think you pay like $30 and they'll give you a glove, a jersey, a bat if you need it, cleats if you need it. Like this is inner city, low income families. And it's $30 for the whole family. So if you have 6 kids, $30 covers
No
six
way,
teams.
really.
Yeah. It's a really cool idea.
They have
Um,
educational programs too, right?
yeah,
Like, I
so they
mean,
just got that. It's a big facility and it's called League 42. So 42, Jackie Robinson's number. I got him down in a frame down there. He's on my wall. What that guy
really,
went through, yeah, what that guy went through back when he was playing and just the scrutiny he endured, like that dude's on my wall. I have like a little hall of fame for people that have inspired me. And he's one of them. I just put myself in his shoes. But long story short, this beautiful bronze statue, probably some crackheads or something down there, cut him off at the feet, like so his spikes were the only thing left there. When I think they tried melting it down to like sell it, but they couldn't haul it anywhere, so they just burned it, and then it wasn't
that's
working, and they left.
crazy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 50, dude. About 50 grand to commission this sculpture.
Yeah, well now like $200,000 is poured in, so they're gonna get a new statue and probably better educational facilities, and they got a couple nice fields there. When I was playing there wasn't even mounds, and probably half the teams did it the right way. Like I had kids on my team that had no business being there, but they were, kept out of trouble. And my assistant coach at the time was like, "Man, this kid's disrespectful, and he showed up late." And I'm like, "Man, this isn't some select travel ball team they paid $2,100 to join." I said, "You don't know if that kid's afraid to take his shirt off because he has cigarette burns put out on him or something. Like it's a very some of these kids you don't know what they're going through,
Yeah,
and for some of these kids that's all of them. And for the guy to cut down a statue, like I don't know, it pissed me off, and that just
that's
yeah,
wild, dude.
I don't like to
That's
see it.
wild. They said there, obviously there's going to be some arrests made, dude, but crazy to see even today. Dude, some more tough news. So the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland Coliseum, the lease for their ballpark, right? It runs out with the A's and the city of Oakland after the 2024 season. Dude, so they don't have a spot to play baseball. They don't have a locked in spot to play baseball after this season is done, which is nuts. But they are trying to move to Las Vegas, right? So that's no secret. But the Las Vegas mayor says the Athletics should stay in Oakland. Just
Yeah,
just stay out, dude. Stay out. Keep out. Says the team's
is it why?
$1.5 billion stadium doesn't make sense. That they should go back to the drawing board and stay in Oakland, dude. So the A's owner John Fisher wants the ballpark finished in time for the 2028 season. So like the Coliseum lease runs out 2024. The shit's not going to be done until 2028. I don't even know what that looks like. But the mayor of where you are trying to go says,
Doesn't
"Don't
want you.
come out here, dude. Do not come out here. Don't come out here. Think about it. What do you got on that? What do you got on that?"
I mean, is that like back to the drawing board? Like, hey, we got to go find a new city,
Dude, I don't know. I don't
or
know what that
do
looks
do they
like.
need a $1.5 billion stadium? Can they say, hey, here's a $900 million stadium or $700 million stadium or something? Like, I think that's how I translate that from a business perspective. He's probably like, hey, that doesn't suit us financially, but go back, come up with a new plan, and then we'll talk. That's how I
100%,
take
dude.
that.
So we know that the fan engagement, the fan attendance was low. Um, the past couple of years, right? Whatever it was, man, it's been low there, dude. So I don't know what it's going to look like. Hope it works out for him. It
This is a
doesn't
dumb
seem very good.
this is a dumb question, and I feel weird kind of asking this, but can you have a big league and a AAA team in the same city?
Dude, why wouldn't you be able to?
I don't know. I just don't know anyone that. I guess Tacoma and Seattle are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
45 minutes
Dude,
away,
so
and
I
that's in
play
Somerset or something, right?
did you play in the Las Vegas
Yeah, brand
did
new
you
one.
play in the new and the old Las
Yeah,
Vegas?
yeah,
Dude, yes. Same here. So what do you got on the new like Las Vegas? Dude, that is MLB quality. The Las Vegas 51s, the AAA
yeah.
for the A's. That is major league
That
quality.
they're the Aviators, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
But the
what I meant.
51s were the old ones.
That's right. That's right. And that stadium was dumpy.
Dude, you know what's
Stadium was dumb.
crazy? And this is not a good take, but I loved the old stadium. I felt
Really?
like I was in 1983 pitching in minor league baseball, and I don't know, I just felt like at home there. It was really weird. It had this like orange glow that was kind of cast over the stadium, and we charted up in the press box, and there was like hot dogs on rollers behind us. And it just felt like I was like at a real minor league baseball game. The new stadium was unbelievable. The locker room, and
Yeah, dude.
there was lighting in the mirrors, and showers were phenomenal. The bullpen was crazy. So like yeah, that was a much cooler experience. Just like the old school guy in me, and I think I pitched really well in the old stadium too.
So I never did well in that old stadium. That's why I
The ball
hated
doesn't
it.
go anywhere.
There was also yes, there was also cockroaches. Dude, I remember a cockroach running across my teammate's foot. Him freaking out, dude. I'll never forget that, man. I hated that place, bro.
Yeah, and
Hated
it was
that
like in the
place.
old Vegas, and it was janky. But yeah, that their locker room was like the size of the room I'm in right now, like a standard bedroom.
I can still smell it. Still
I don't
smell
know
that
why I
locker room.
liked it. I liked it there. I remember vividly. I gave up like a what was their left fielder's name? Um, Bornstein, right? You
Oh,
remember him?
yeah, yeah. Remember
He
Zach
was
Bornstein?
wild,
That fuck dude, he's
jacked.
huge.
He hit a ball off me like the dead center, like probably the hardest ball I've ever been that's ever been hit off me, and it went like up in the air and just like came back. I was like, oh, all right,
Dude, I
sweet.
hit an inside the park home run there, and they called it a triple with an error.
That's bullshit.
Brutal, brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal. Good luck to the Oakland A's, dude. GG's. Moving on. So we had Brett Boone on here. We were fortunate enough to have Brett Boone on here. Trevor Boone. They were just on the podcast, kind of talking about their story, talking about how the trials and tribulations they had to overcome. Brett Boone was opening up a little bit about hitting. Dude gave a fucking master class on the art of hitting, the mindset, the approach behind it, the routine, the preparation that goes into it. Um, Brett Boone also talked about some of the dudes that he shared a locker room with, specifically on the 2021 Seattle Mariners team. Right,
The
so we came,
2001,
yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Damn, dude, I can't believe I messed that up. Stinks. 2001.
116 wins, right?
Yes, dude. Yes. Um, just like Moyer, right? Cameron, Ichiro, Dan
Ichiro,
Wilson.
yeah.
Um,
Felix Hernandez on there? No, that was too.
no, no, no,
He was
no.
that was too young.
But just talking to him a little bit about Ichiro, his preparation, the way he goes about it. It's no secret that Ichiro is a nimble man. He's a nimble man. He's also my idol. We've talked about it a little bit here on the podcast previously. He is my idol. He's my favorite. I look up to him, still do. And there's videos. You go online, dude. You go on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, and you see him just launching 400 plus foot home runs, and it's incredible. That guy is he's still out there, dude, in full garb, full uniform, dressed,
Yeah,
full
50
uniform,
something years old.
throwing BP, long tossing, running. Like, dude, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. He still goes about it. It's amazing. So you sent me this story about Ichiro. He got a text message from a weird number, and this guy was reaching out because he said he's a fan of him. Obviously, he knows who he is. He had gotten his number. He got Ichiro's number from Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. May have heard of him.
No,
And so he's like, dude, I'd love to meet up with you, pick your brain, get your stretching routine, dude. And Ichiro was like, man, I have no idea who you are. So he goes into the clubhouse and the trainers are asking him about it. He's like, dude, I have no idea who this is. Says he's a football player. I have no idea about football. They're like, yo, who is it? He's like, dude, it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, dude. It's Tom Brady. Um, Tom Brady's wanting his stretching routine, and
I
Ichiro
think
doesn't
that's
even
awesome.
know who this guy is, dude. You think that's 100%? You think that's 100%? Like what do we
I
got there?
do. I was barely. I mean, I was in the same kind of like minor league side, major league side for spring training, but I got to be around Ichiro a little bit, and he did not speak very good English, or he acted like he didn't either one, and he was just kind of like always going about his own business. And in Japan, I mean, the culture like baseball is huge. Baseball now is like taking a back seat to football and basketball, but in Japan, it's massive. It's huge. It's like European soccer or NFL over here now.
Yeah.
Um, and football is not really a thing. So I can kind of believe that. I mean, if we went over there and some massive pop star or something over there, I'd be like, who's that? And they'd laugh at me. Tom Brady is, Jesus over here. But I think that story, I can believe it because he was doing all the TB12 and the bands and eating only like vegetables. And
Yeah,
he was
dude.
crazy about his body and his thing. So he saw Ichiro and probably heard all this stuff. And he's like, hey, I want to know what he does. And Ichiro's like, I don't know who that is.
I love it. I
That's good.
love
I
it.
think that's a cool story.
I love it,
Pretty
dude.
humbling.
It's big time. It's big time. So Booney also was on here talking about, his competitors, the pitchers he's faced, who the hardest one was, dude, who's the best pitcher, best stuff, toughest AB. He talked about Greg Maddux, a teammate of his, John Smoltz, had a quote that I wanted to touch on as we transition out of the sports news and we transition into the 9-hole type mindset stuff before we sign out of here. So John Smoltz said, I believe if you're afraid to fail, you will never be great, which is an insane quote, right? Because that hits home for me because I've had seasons relating this to baseball where I start off hot and then I try to maintain, or I get nervous or complacent, or I try to say, dude, I'm right around this 300, 320 threshold. I got to maintain, right? And then you're afraid to fail. You're afraid to take chances. And then you see the decline, right? That's how I feel about it, dude. So on the Boone podcast, he talks about dudes that were all-stars in spring training, right? When the stats don't matter. And then when the season starts and they step across the white line, they are mentally screwed, right? They're soft. They're afraid to fail, dude. Have you ever experienced anything like that? And how were you able to kind of like get out of that, dude? If you've had some success in the backfields when the shit doesn't matter, right? Are you
Yeah.
able to kind of translate that into the season? If you can't, dude, how do you get out of that?
I mean, so like I'm gonna translate this to my current career a little bit, and because of what baseball kind of instilled in me, like there's no one. You have teammates, you have your agent, you have your family, and all that stuff, but really internally on your team, especially in the minor leagues, like no one really cares. You do good, bad, indifferent. You get a little fist bump, you get a high five, whatever, but you're also competing against the same dudes. So my career changed a lot when I could just, we've talked about this, but I changed my perspective a little bit. Like, hey, nothing bad's happened. You gave up a double, like guy hasn't scored. If you can kind of like slow that back a little bit instead of thinking of all the bad outcomes. Like if you go up to the plate and you're like, man, I'm hitting 299. If I get a hit here, I'm gonna hit 304 or something. Like if you go up to the bat with that mindset, like that's the wrong thoughts from the beginning. I think like you're already pressing. And I used to do that all the time. Like, oh, I need to get one more strikeout here. If I walk this guy, whatever. But now I'm selling large capital equipment to hospitals. And there's times I drive to a hospital, I park outside, and I go, I'm probably not going to see anyone today. I'm probably not going to get in front of a decision maker. But then I flip my brain a little bit and be like, hey, I have pitched in front of 30,000 people. I have got my ass kicked. I have dominated, whatever. Like, you don't know what's going to happen until you put yourself out there. And then I put my little name tag on. I walk into the hospital and I go rub elbows. I go try to help out with something. And then you start seeing these little fruits of your labor start paying off just by going up there and being confident. And sometimes it's maybe putting a mask on. Sometimes it's being someone you're not. But when you're on the field or when you're in your job, you got to be able to translate that. You got to be able to like, hey, I'm a different dude. Like I'm a dog right now. You go home to your wife, your kids, your parents, your buddies, whatever. Take the mask off. But like if you're working, if you're going out trying to do better for your family, your loved ones, or yourself, you're competing against someone. Like you gotta be a different type of person.
100%. 100%, dude. I love it. I love that, dude. So, last one I got here, touch on before we get out of here. I saw this one, dude, and it made a ton of sense to me. So we alluded to it earlier, talking about Jose Altuve being able to be next to him on the field, share a field with him in baseball competition. Most of your problems with hitting stem from not being all in on the fastball. So for me personally, dude, that's everything. That is everything. That is everything. Hitting wise, whether it's dude, thought process, mindset, timing, anything, mechanics. Like, dude, if I'm not in on the fastball, dude, there are problems there, and that's where it all stems from, dude. Like pitching from a pitching standpoint, are you able to tell when somebody is off the fastball? Right? Are
Yeah.
you able to tell when somebody is, dude? Is that a tell early? Does that dictate the at bat then? Like, man, if I'm not on the fastball, how are you gonna get me out? And like, if you see me maybe kind of be in between and then shift, try to change my approach, bro, it's game over?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. To play on that a little bit too, like when I was younger and immature, kind of like you, if you're second guessing yourself or kind of questioning or you're thinking too mechanical, there was times I'd come set and I'd have like a change up grip in my hand or a sinker grip in my hand, and it felt off. And in my head, I'm like, I don't have this ball grip right. And then the catcher sets up, and I lift my leg and I throw it. Why? And then later in my career, if it happened to me, I'd be like, oh, I got a weird grip. I'd step off and regrip. But just like those little things of like, I used to be fearful of like every little situation. Like, well, someone's watching me, they're judging me right now. I got to be throw each pitch with conviction, or I got to have the same, velocity and all that. But I wish sometimes I would just slow down, control the game a little bit more. And the same probably for hitting. Like if you're going up there and your neck itches or something, and you're thinking about an itch on your neck or something silly like that, like step out of the box, reset.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
my uncle said he used to walk across the lines and turn his brain on. We've talked about that a little bit, but he would physically click his brain on. Like too many guys now, I think, are so worried about the outcome. But if you put in the work,
Mm,
you know, it's gonna take care of itself. Like I don't
I
know.
love it,
That's my little 2 cents on that.
dude. I love that, dude. I love that. And shit, I know a strong note there, baby. I love that. You got anything else you want to throw in there before we get out of here, dude?
No, I that was a good little lot of hot goss.
Yeah, dude. Big time goss. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you, Reese and Alyssa, my wife, for tuning in,
That's
commenting,
that's
right?
love right there.
Getting a little active in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're listening on Apple, if you are watching on YouTube, wow, with the hearts, dude. Love that. Appreciate you guys, man. Give us a like, throw a comment our way. I appreciate you, every one of you. David, dude, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And we will catch you guys again next time. See you.